Hey folks, this is Eric the Surveyor. Normally I make land surveying videos, but I thought I'd do a video on the refi that I did several months ago. Let's see, I think it was the end of February, March, sometime. Anyway, what I'm going to do is go over what I did to get the best deal possible, I think. And what I wanted to do was remove the emotional aspect from the loan process. So, one of my employees was doing a refi, and I looked into it, and I started the process by first going to Lending Tree, filling out the information, and within seconds of hitting a button, I forget now what I did, I got calls and texts. So be prepared to answer the phone immediately. And so I got a call from a couple major lenders, and it was for a refinance on my home, lower the interest rate, pull cash out, which is what I eventually did. And so we're going to go over some steps. I'll try to make this video as brief as possible. It's more about the strategy of how to get the best deal. So first of all, you do the lending tree. You'll get several lenders calling you. Then what you got to do is fill out their loan application. So be prepared for your social security and driver's license and all that good stuff. Bank statements, you know the drill. Then what we do is what I did is I had 3 or 4 applications I filled out because I wanted to get an idea of the best interest rate. And so there's 2 things you got to watch out for is the interest rate and then the points. And I could really go into a lot of detail, and maybe I'll make another video if a lot of people hit the like button, I get more subscribers. But basically, the 2 things that cost you money are the points and the interest rate. There are things that cost you money anyway, but the lender has nothing to do with it. Taxes, your state taxes, and also some of the fees, but we won't get into all that. We'll stick to strategy today. Now, I got down to a point where I had 2 lenders where I got official quotes, paper trail quotes. I logged into their system, they gave me quotes and interest rates. So I ended up picking not the initial one, but the second one, notified the initial one that, hey, I'm going with these people because they're giving me the lower interest rate and their points are less. So just be careful because some of them will, instead of calling it points, they'll say, oh, this is your discount amount. And so you'll see in there, just as an example, it'll say $10,000 in points, but that's your discount. That's what you pay for a discount. And what it is let's say they're saying, hey, we're going to give you 3.5% and 10,000 in points, but that's your discount. Well, no, that's what they're taking out and folding into the loan as a fee for giving you that 3.5% interest rate. It's not a discount. Now, if they're a lender, it's normal for them to make money on a loan. So don't think that you're going to get 0 points. You are going to get points, and they're going to fold it into the loan. But just be aware that's costing you money. Interest rate's costing you money, and so are the points. And maybe I'll make another video, actually go line by line, describing how to interpret these loan quotes because they get a little weird. And sometimes if you have an escrow account, there's fees in there that look like they're fees by them, but they're actually just taxes and insurance on the home. But like I said, we're going to stick to strategy for this video. So I ended up getting a couple quotes, and then I paid for 2 appraisals. And the reason I did this is the first lender was still in the works, even though they didn't match what the second lender did. They were coming back to me like, okay, and they moved it on to a different salesperson, and they were trying to compete with the first or the second loan. And I wanted to have 2 options all the way down to the end of the wire to help me not be emotional about the decision. Because while all this was happening, it's when that certain illness that's widespread was starting to unfold and develop in early 2020. And I'm avoiding using the word just because I don't want it to get demonetized, even though I'm not monetized right now. Anyway, what I wanted to do was remove any emotional decision making out of it. So if I was locked into one lender and something unexpected came up or they did something I didn't like, I didn't want to feel like I had to go with them. So by having a couple different options, it removes the emotion out of the decision, and now it's just all numbers. You don't have to like the person you're dealing with or dislike them. It's just all about you maximizing the amount of money you can save. So what I did is I got a quote from the second lender. They gave me a quote. I provided the initial quote to that second lender, and that's what lowered their numbers. And then once I got that second quote, I then revealed those numbers to the first lender, and they were working on getting that resolved. But they wanted an appraisal done, and so I paid for 2 appraisals, and investing an additional $400 or $500 when you're going to save thousands is nothing. So for me, it was worth it. Plus the ability to pull out of the deal with one and go with the other at the last minute. So I ended up getting 2 appraisals. Everyone got their final numbers in. And so even though the second lender ended up giving me the initially better deal, because I had kept the first lender on board and paid for the appraisal, they ended up coming in with the best interest rate and lowering the points enough where I ended up going with them. So their points were lower, which is cash out from me, even though they folded into the loan. So you're not seeing any cash going out, but it's costing you money. And then all the monthly payment, everything was all the same. The numbers were good. So that's how I strategically was able to refinance my home and get the best deal possible, get the most cash out, get the lowest interest rate. Get 3 or 4 quotes to summarize, fill out the applications, then pick a couple and go with them all the way to the finish line until you get the best deal possible. And that means revealing the numbers and telling them, oh, this lender here is doing this, and here's their points, and here's their fees, and yada 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 yada. And there are some tricks they use. Sometimes they don't fold in the taxes, so then you end up with a tax bill. But once again, I think if I get pretty good response with this video, some thumbs up, some subscribers, then I can actually pull out the paperwork, kind of go over it line by line, do a little video showing and explaining what you should look for when doing a refinance on your home, and spend the time doing that and doing it right. But on this initial video, just wanted to make it more about strategy, how you can remove your emotional attachment out of it. Definitely have a couple of lenders down to the last minute so that you have options. You don't have to go with this one, you can go with that one, and then you can be more logical about your decision making. So that's we'll keep the video to there. Thanks for watching. Please hit like, subscribe. Once again, this is Eric the Surveyor. Normally I do land surveying videos, but I do deal with this refinance quite a bit in my occupation when I'm doing surveys or ALTA surveys where big companies with large plots of land will want to do a refi to save money, and they'll have a survey done. So I'm in the business somewhat. Obviously, I'm not a lender or anything, and this is just my take on it. Not a financial advisor, but for me, I wanted to remove the emotional decision making from it, and I found that having two down to the last minute, two lenders, was the best way to do that. All right, thanks a lot. Once again, hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you later.